All right, guys. Today we're going to look at a box called Netmon. And in this box, it was actually kind of intense, kind of a little bit difficult. Again, there was a little help with asking some people for some advice on which direction to go to. So in this case, we're just going to kind of make a quick video on what I did in order to get through this. So let's see if it's active real quick. Netmon's there. This is going to be a Windows device that we're targeting. Okay, it's highly rated as a pretty common exploit, real life scenario. Kind of a little background of what we're looking at. Let's go ahead and enumerate first this box, this IP address, and then I'll kind of explain what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and open up ZenMap. Okay, so as we wait for this to scan, I'm going to go ahead and kind of show you what was there in the initial scan that I did. So if you need to see, you guys should be able to see this. Here we can see that the Nmap scan is going to put out a FTP port available for us. It's also got a port 80 open. And as we can see that it has PRTG bandwidth monitor. This is an actual bandwidth monitor that I talked about on my page that is implemented worldwide, so it is out there. So we are going to take a look at that, and mainly because if we look at the name of this one, Netmon, it's the name of our box, so this is kind of where we're going to be directed to. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into port 80, take a peek at that. What is that? What it looks like real quick. And as we can see, it's the network admin page. Okay. So let's go ahead and try our normal stuff. Admin. How about admin? Maybe no password? No. Maybe admin password. All right. So as you can see, we can go all day long. Some of those basic defaults aren't there. So our next step is to try to gain access to this. So we really can't do too much with this right now. So let's go ahead and check out port 21. So we're going to pop open FileZilla. I do like using it. It doesn't display hidden files automatically. So that is one thing you're going to have to take a peek at. If you are looking for something, it's supposed to be there. I would go ahead and use regular FTP. But in this case, this should do the job for us. So let's go ahead and get logged in. Now, again, when we look at our FTP port, one of the things we want to remember is what kind of protocol is this? And it is actually an anonymous protocol, so it is going to allow us anonymous login. So with that being said, we're just going to go ahead and just put something in. It's really going to just, what's the word called? Log that we were there. So I'm just going to put admin, and I think I spelled password, but that won't matter anyways. Okay. Ooh. Didn't like that. Let's try FTP. There we go. All right, so I didn't like admin as my username, so I just used FTP. So as we can see some basic info from the FTP server. We can go ahead and kind of look around. Some of the files may be empty. We can see that we have access denied when we kind of go on some of these files. So with that being said, let's go ahead and see if there's anything, maybe the user section. Administration, nope, that's denied. All users. Let's go to public. Oh, what's this? All right, just downloaded that over here. Oops, no, I don't want to edit that. I want to open it. Oh, looks like we found our first hash. That was quite simple. So we would go ahead and insert our hash into our own user hash button, which I've already done, so good. I'll go ahead and delete that from there. All right, so that's that. We've owned one file, we've owned user, so now we need to figure out what the heck we're going to do from here. So in this case, let's just go into Alright, so there are a few things. Let's see. Here. Alright, so this page is essentially saying that at one point there was a version that was affected that when the system did a backup, that backup would contain clear text administration passwords. So with that, we can go ahead and see some basic info. We're looking for a configuration file, something along the lines of configuration null, configuration old, etc. Okay, the only place that we have access to right now that we can see anything regarding files is our FTP server. So let's go ahead and see where we can find these files. So let's go back. So it is some type of PRTG file that we're looking for. And I believe not exactly sure what you're looking for. I was just gonna say try to find the company name, but I know the company name, so I'm not gonna bore you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and look in program data, Passler, Netmon. All right, so backup files. Could be something there maybe. I'll have to look at that. Here we go. Configuration old back, and configuration. All right, so we are going to take a look at old back, I should say. Okay, none of them want to open for some reason. So let's go ahead and close that. Sorry guys, I forgot that I just had this defaulted to my current box that I'm working on. So, all right, so it looks like we have it here. So let's go ahead and do an output of it. I want to see what's in there. On back, we can see all of this. So I'm just gonna do a quick, kind of remember where it's at. There we go. All right, so it looks like we have our admin password. All right, so our administration account login, username, and then our password. So let's go ahead and jump over to our admin webpage, right? And go ahead and get in now, I guess. All right. No. Okay, that's weird. Didn't work. All right, so obviously the password that we currently have doesn't work. That's not a good thing. We don't like that happening. So with that being said, take a look at the password. Let's go ahead and think like a user and do exactly what a lot of us probably do. He had 2018, so let's go ahead and put 2019 there. And voila, we're in. All right. So I'm going to go over a exploit that I used. I found out that it wasn't obviously a correct one for this specific box, but it was an exploit using the notification exploit. So let's go ahead and give you a quick background of what I'm looking to do before I go ahead and do it. The idea is that we need to gain access to the target computer. We can't do that through this network monitor. It doesn't give us direct access to any workstation, essentially. It's just setting up sensors along the network and other notifications and other things to look at, or things that we can look at and monitor. So with that being said, we still need to get access to a computer. Now, there are a couple different exploits that I've seen. One that I was looking at, or that a lot of people seem to use, was actually, let me go ahead and do something real quick. I like this. Sorry guys, this is kind of the stuff I gotta keep, and I like to keep. All right. So, ideally, what was I saying? So ideally, everybody was using the same exploit, and unfortunately, for me at that direct time, it wasn't working. So I had to kind of branch out and find something new. And so one of the codes that was being used a lot, so we can do a quick peek, you guys can see that there are exploits. Essentially, you're going to download this program real quick. You're going to go ahead and essentially find your cookie information, input that. If you have questions on that, I'll show you. I am going to try to use that exploit later on, and I'll make a video with that exploit in there. But for today, the exploit that I'm going to use is essentially going to work like this. We're going to create a notification in this system, and by doing so, this notification is going to pop up on the master workstation that this is set to. Let's go ahead and just name our notification. Can be anything. We'll leave everything the way it is up there. And this time we're now going to go ahead and execute a program. Now the file that we're going to use is going to be our output PS1 file. And in this case, the script that I'm going to use, I'm not going to show you guys because I don't want it to be used a lot. It is something that you can use to get the file, which I did, but they didn't like that one. But again, I used the exploit. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put that in there. It is going to be blurred out. But essentially what this is going to allow me to do, I'm going to save this so you guys don't see it. We can get it out of blur. But essentially what this is going to do, it's going to copy, it's going to send the notification, it's going to copy the file on the root, in the root file that we're looking to get, root.txt. It's going to copy it from the administrative server, from the workstation that's locked up. So the secure workstation that we can't get to. It's going to copy the contents of the root folder and then put it someplace that we actually have access to. So 1 second. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a peek. All right, so I just forgot where I was going to send it. All right, so real quick, we're going to go ahead and launch this notification by selecting it, clicking on the little bell. Once we launch that notification, we'll see that there's probably going to be a notification that pops up. But ideally, what we should see at this point now is hopefully a file. There we go. And now we have our second hash, our root hash. So with that being said, that is how I got the user and root hash for Netmon. Again, this was an exploit that I guess the admins didn't like me using, but I still use the notification exploit that we essentially had to use anyways to use the add user exploit that they wanted us to do. But essentially, I was still able to get it. So thanks for watching. Talk to you later.